good stuff.
Come to the woods, maybe? Woo! Oh boy, I did not realize they could move that quickly. Remember that one time we thought our garden was broken?
Wow.
I'm not done. This is just the first load.
That's got to be at least 30 tomatoes.
Do you want me to say something?
Nope.
There we go.
It smells great.
I'm gonna cut off the root. Oh, that's a woody stem. That's a woody stem. There we go.
Hi there, yo folks. Welcome back to the Homestead. I'm Sean, the Modern Yeoman, and this is Holly, the Modern Yeowoman.
Hi.
And I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Work With Me Wednesday, where there's no music and very little in the way of fancy editing. It's just us getting things done, working, chatting a little bit, and you sitting in the comfort of wherever you're watching this video and rooting us on. So if you'd like to join us for the next 15 minutes or so, we've got a lot to do here on the homestead today. We need to get the fall garden ready for fall. And so there's a lot of things that we need to do. Right now we're getting some stuff done here in the north lean-to because in addition to the 45 chickens that we already have here on the homestead right now, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, we're gonna have some more friends here in the next week or so. But anyways, we're gonna get this ready. And like I said, if you wanna join along, watch us work, strap in and enjoy. So I've talked about it in a previous episode, but this weed that you see right here, it isn't actually a weed at all. It's a very fragrant herb called Sweet Annie. And we've been leaving it here to grow in the north lean-to because for whatever reason, it grows really well in this horrible soil in this shade. We don't know why it grows that well, but it does. And so we've let it grow here since the spring, right?
Yeah, the seedlings popped up in the spring on their own.
And it's well taller than I am. And so at this point, like I said, we want to get the north lean-to ready for some new occupants here soon. And so we're going to cut this stuff down and dry it. We're just going to hang it from the ceiling in the
loft in the barn, and there's a bunch of ties up there. I don't know what they hung in the past, but they left a bunch of ties
Smells
behind.
so good.
So
Let's do it.
I've got a taproot system on them like carrots.
Mm.
Oh, there's a praying mantis. Hey, Sean, you got to film this mantis. Big guy. Come to the woods, maybe? Woo! Oh boy, I did not realize they could move that quickly. Hi, friend. One more load. Alright, now we gotta hang it.
Middle. Hate it when that happens.
Oh, something up here. Ugh.
It's the hay, probably.
Alright, I'm gonna start tying bundles. Nice and tight. Up! My sinuses. Does it not bug you?
No.
Okay.
All right, let's just get the rest of them hung up. Should be easy to do.
Watch out, don't fall off.
No, I know. Get them all at once.
Okay.
Hi guys. I'm gonna have to clean out your brooder again. So, how long are we going to let these things hang for?
I'm not sure till they're dry, and yeah.
It smells good up here. If
smells
nothing else,
amazing.
it'll just smell good. It's like an air freshener for our hayloft. We'll let them dry for a few weeks
Yep.
and check in later on them. There you go. Look at all that grass. Dirt, bugs, sunshine. Isn't that much better than the brooder? Hey, Lucky. All right, enjoy. Soak it up, gals, guys. So these little chicks are about a week old at this point, and you need to be careful when you put chicks this young out into the open that they don't get too cold, that they don't catch a chill. I'm not too worried about that today because it's probably 90+ degrees at this point, no wind. It's a very humid, hot day today, and so I don't think they are in any danger of catching a chill on a day like today. If anything, I'd be worried that they might get too hot, but they're in the shade and they seem very happy right now, so I'm gonna let these guys out and keep them out here while I clean their brooder.
Remember that one time we thought our garden was broken?
Wow.
I'm not done. This is just the first load.
That's gotta be at least 30 tomatoes.
At least.
I've been needing to clean this thing out at least every other day, but now we're to the point where I'm having to clean this thing out every single day. 28 little chickens. They may look small, but taken together, they can produce a lot of waste very quickly. Right now they're a week old. I think in the next week and a half, I'm gonna have them out on grass full time. Just because I think they'll be ready for it. They'll start to feather out a little bit more. And when I have them out there in the meat chicken tractor, I'm going to include their little brooder panel for a little supplemental heat should they need it. By the time they're a month old, 4 weeks, I think they'll be just fine being out there on their own without any extra heating source, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for the next week or so, I'm gonna have to clean this thing out a lot. Okay, I have to turn some of this to get to the really good stuff. But you can see that. You can see how good this compost is. And I'm gonna get a couple shovelfuls of that, maybe half a wheelbarrow full, and bring it up to the garden to use when we plant the new fall crops and we line them up. I'll just put that in the ditches that I dig for those seeds. Look at that. Look at that. That's gorgeous. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, then you know how excited I am about this primo stuff. This is the good stuff that's been sitting here for, geez, probably almost a year now. We've been cooking this up, and it's just living with nutrients. I don't have a strainer. I should make one though. This would be really nice to strain out. This stuff is just incredible. So the sun has dipped behind the trees over there and cooled things off quite a bit. Now that we've eaten dinner, I think we're ready to start planting our fall greens. I think we're gonna take up these 3 beds right here to start with. I did put these beds in a couple weeks ago. You guys might remember when I did that. I tilled out under there. I think what I'm gonna do for these, since the soil has just been turned, is I'm gonna find a cover crop to put in these. Buckwheat, some sort of rye, I'm not sure. I'll have to do some research on what type of cover crop I can put inside of these beds, but I think that's what I'm gonna do for these beds. Just kind of get the soil worked in a little bit, add some nutrients, cover crop for these within a week or 2. But right now, let's focus on these guys and get some fall greens in this evening. All right, so what are we growing here? Holly?
So I'm just gonna grow a mix of things. I'm gonna throw some radishes in, a couple heads of cabbage. Actually, a lot of these were gifted to us, so thank you.
Thank you everyone who sent along these.
I want to throw in some kale, collards, mustard, arugula, oak lettuce, these tatsoi greens, and I think that's about it.
All right, you think we'll be able to fit them in these 3 beds?
I think so. I'm gonna get creative. I'm gonna kind of cover in the rows, but. Oh.
Good stuff.
Are you okay?
I know, I was embarrassed. Or back in the...
No, put it back in the pile. Just
Yeah.
let it decompose some more.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. We got a lot done on the homestead. It was a very busy day for us today. What all did we do? We planted the fall garden.
Fall greens.
We planted the fall greens, and I cleaned up the coop. Oh, and I cleaned out the north lean-to to prepare it.
The Sweet Annie.
We hung up the Sweet Annie, and I cleaned up the north lean-to to prepare it for some special guests next week. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with us like always, guys. And until next time, remember, slowly, slowly.